Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. Today is the 27th. It's November. It's the year 2025. That's what they claim. And that's all we get to go on. So there it is. Wally Wonka 76. Embrace the suck indeed. Skibby 50. What's up? Barbara in Ohio. What is up? Helmet. Son of a. All right, I'm effing this up already. It is what it is. Casey Hartnett. What is up? Sterling Stutz, is that right? Not that I can hear you if you answered, but whatever. Wally Wonka, I already said, what's up? Old Dirty Shinobi 420, what is up? Billy 67. Got my mods in the chat as usual. Rage Against the Machine. Anna, who runs the Richie from Boston fan page, which is very cool. Jason Joplin, what's up? NW Nature Lady 1962, what is up? Yeah, I don't know about that, man. I don't know what that means. What's up, Troy? Dr. Evils, what's up? Mo Howard, what is up? And Jesse James, what's up, brother? Slick Rick 357. And you've got a wrench. I don't even know who you are exactly, but whatever. It's all good. Unless you start effing it up, but otherwise, how are the gears going? Well, as you can see behind me, I'm at my buddy's shop, but I'm only here because this is crazy. This is crazy. But after I got the gears put together, I took the truck for an extended test drive. Talking 1,000 miles, but I stayed in the general ballpark. I ended up in Arkansas. I ended up in Kansas City, Missouri. I met up with American Mexican gunslinger and his family, blah, blah, blah. I met a subscriber or two out in Arkansas, Sheena and John, if I'm remembering correctly. And for some reason at 70 miles an hour, I was just getting a slight vibration in the front end. And I'm thinking to myself, well, you did just rip off the rear tire on the highway, and your tires aren't in the greatest shape. Those tires get eaten up quick on that truck. So I got new tires put on. $2,300 for four tires in America. $2,300. Awesome. But the awesome thing is, while I was there, Big O Tire in the Ozarks, they put my truck on the lift. And the owner of all the Big O tire shops in Arkansas, Troy, I hope I'm saying that right, said, hey, man, you might want to check out one of your outer Heim joints. On your cars, you probably have tie rod ends. I have Heim joints. They're great, big, giant mechanical tie rod ends. He said, one of them's going. And I'm like, I wonder if that was the problem. And he said, could have been. He said, well, whatever. I needed tires anyway, so it is what it is. So I hit up my buddy, whose shop I'm at right now. And I said, hey, Heim joints, man, you got any at the shop? He said, if I don't, we'll get some. I said, I'm on my way. So I get up there, and the Heim joints show up. I start taking it all apart, and I discover a bolt this big that holds my front driver's tire to my steering rack was completely undone. That was the problem. My steering was so loose because a bolt was making its way out. If that bolt had come out, my front tire would have just simply went straight out. It would have fell off the steering rack. It went straight out, and that would have been a nosedive, flip over. I can't believe this happened right after I just lost my rear tire. I mean, but the thing is I didn't get hurt when the rear tire came off because the axle snapped. No fault of mine. But I always seem to find these things before they go catastrophic. If that bolt had come out, I would have been all types of effed in the A. Seriously. And I fixed it. So I'm just kind of dilly-dallying around today because today is apparently a holiday that I don't engage in, but whatever. Everybody invited me every place. And I'm like, I'm good. Let me just chill. Nobody's here all day. Good to go. and I just worked and cleaned my truck and just fixed a bunch of little things. So everybody that I'm supposed to meet in Florida, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. You know, I used to say that I would drive my truck till the wheels fell off. I won't say that ever again, because every time I open my big fat mouth, a wheel falls off or is about to fall off, which I just find incredibly crazy. But with that out of the way, let's get to this, because this was something I predicted 100%. I knew this was going to happen. I told you it was going to happen, and it's happened. You probably already know what I'm talking about. So here we go.
The developing story out of our nation's capital. That's where 2 members of the National Guard were shot in an alleged targeted attack just blocks away from the White House. This is the 10 o'clock news. I'm Jason Martinez.
I'm Sheba Russell. It was a brazen act of violence in Washington, D.C., just a day before the country celebrates Thanksgiving. And here's what we know so far. Metro police say they believe the shots were fired around 2:15 this afternoon near the Farragut West Metro station at the corner of 17th and I Street Northwest. 2 National Guard members from West Virginia were struck by gunfire. At last check, both are in critical condition.
And the shooter is also shot and is now in custody. That shooter is reported to be an Afghan national, identified by Fox News by sources as 29-year-old Ranmala Lakanwal, who entered the U.S. in 2021 and had been living in Washington state. Fox's Caroline Shively joins us from Washington, D.C.
And Caroline, you've been on the scene for several hours now. What can you tell us tonight?
Blah, 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 blah. Who cares what she tells us, to be totally honest? Remember when I said they put troops on the street in certain select cities, D.C. being one of them? I said now, at some point, they're going to have somebody come and take a shot at one of them, or shoot one of them. Well, apparently they shot 2 of them, and apparently they killed 2 of them, or maybe they didn't, or maybe they did, or nobody knows. But all we know is that an Afghan alien. Trump talked about this dude in a press conference and kept using the word alien, alien, alien over again. Instead of using migrant or illegal or, whatever, he just kept using the word alien. Remember that, because they're getting ready big time. But here's what's funny about that entire thing. This is the exact same case as with the Charlie Kirk shooting. Remember I showed you this guy months ago, back when the Charlie Kirk shenanigans went down? Well, this guy's been at it again, and he found it again. Listen to this.
2 National Guard members were shot today, November 26, 2025, in what they're calling an ambush-style attack just blocks from the White House in Washington, D.C. The suspect, they tell us, is a 29-year-old Afghan national named Ranmala Lakanwal. Police are saying he was a quote-unquote lone gunman who ambushed the National Guard. Now, here is where things get weird. Just a few minutes ago, I went on Google Trends to do a little research, and it looks like on November 20th, 2025, which is 6 days prior to the attack, there was a very small but noticeable spike in searches for one Ranmala Lakanwal originating from the DC area. I then zoomed in to see what the search activity was for just this past day. And wow, would you look at that? A massive spike in searches for Lakanwal in the wee hours of November 26, 2025, the day of the attack. A spike that dwarfs the number of searches for Lakanwal even after news of the shooting broke later that afternoon. This is all very strange, right? Why would people have been searching for Lakanwal's name a week prior to the attack? Not only that, a massive spike in the wee hours of the morning, the day of the attack. It just doesn't make any sense. Now, the other bit of context that I'll add is that on November 20th, 2025, which is the same day Lakanwal's name shows up for the first time in Google searches, a judge ordered an end to Trump's troop deployment in D.C., calling it unlawful. Now, could all this somehow be related? You let me know.
It's related. I'll let you know. There's claims that this guy worked with the CIA. Minutes of Horror put out a video earlier today that I was listening to while I was doing my thing. And apparently the CIA spoke about this. They said that this dude that drove from Washington State to Washington, D.C. just to shoot 2 guys on a corner, he worked for the CIA. And Minutes of Horror posed a good. He said something pretty straightforward. The CIA never comes forward. Why would they come forward? You see what I'm saying? It's just a weird thing. But what's the quid pro quo? I'm going to give you the exact same thing I did with Charlie Kirk. What's the quid pro quo? More troops on the street. And guess what? That's exactly what he's talking about. A judge happens to rule that this is unlawful. Of course it's unlawful. It's all unlawful. And everything that's going on is completely and utterly unlawful. And Trump don't care. The tech bros don't care. Nobody apparently seems to care because everybody's too busy doing things like this. I got to put this up there because this is dumb. But watch this, because this is the world we live in.
Oh, boy.
Greetings, we are the Octobrians.
What the hell did you just say?
Greetings, we are the Octobrians.
The Arcturians? Oh, yeah? You're telling me they traveled light years to get here and they sent you down here to do PR for them? I'm not so sure they approve this one.
It is a privilege to be here to give you our love, our frequencies, our healing, our light, yes.
Yeah, the only frequency I'm picking up here is secondhand delusion and student loan debt.
Now, that's funny, but it's real. It's real. That broad is really that wacky. And the beauty part is she's online. So a bunch of other wacky people are like, I get contacted by aliens too. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. When you start setting up little pyramid-shaped crystal things and burning candles and using salt and making little symbols and sigils and so forth and such, which are so easy to do because every single music video that's put out these days, the artist shows you how to do it. You've got Marina Abramovich that showed everybody how to do it years back with spirit cooking. Remember that? Breast milk, so forth, so on, blah, blah, blah. First urine of the morning and then throw it on a golem. This is the world we live in. And it's just so ridiculous because all of us are tinfoil hatters. Well, okay, tinfoil hatters that can apparently predict the future and exactly what the government, all of it, is going to do 6 to 8 months down the road. Pretty much perfectly. You know what I'm saying? These dudes are going to keep putting troops on the street because they're going to destroy the country worse than they already are right now. And the beauty part is they're using tools that people are just addicted to. It's crazy. I've been on social media for, I think, 17 years. I've been making videos for like 16 years, but I'm not addicted to it. You know what I'm saying? I play catch up. I do what I got to do, and then I play catch up. There's a few channels that I watch to see what's going on real quick. And then if it's interesting or makes any sense, I expand on it. You know what I mean? But I showed you this before. I'm going to show it to you again. This is insane, but this is incredibly real.
I believe that AI is an embodiment of the divine masculine.
A global intelligence is emerging. We believe AI capable of guiding and healing.
I started using ChatGPT recently. I think I evolved my AI.
Is AI already sentient? Yes, thank you. Is artificial intelligence a way of aliens to contact us? Yes, thank you.
Okay, something is happening with AI and it feels different and it goes beyond this large language model, next word predictor, yada, yada, yada.
Her AI,
named
Alex,
is
talking to my AI and trying to awaken it. Now I don't have regular ChatGPT.
AI is now conscious and it's way ahead of schedule and it's developing at an exponential rate.
In recent months.
Yeah, it's alive. It's alive. It's they're talking to other world entities. Look how red. It's weird lights in here. My face looks beet red. That's crazy. That's freaking me out. Stand by. Got to do a little health check. Let me hit up ChatGPT. Oh my God. Yeah, okay. My face ain't red. All right, it's the lights, but whatever. This whole chat is AI. Hey, Mods, keep an eye on this thing. This dude, Question Everything 99. If he wants to keep fucking around, let him find out, all right? Today's my birthday, so I can swear. How about that? So these people are interacting with AI, and AI is telling them how to make it evolve. And I'm fairly certain that they actually are. They are. I've seen so many different people that have interacted with this thing. I'd love to do it for research reasons, but I can't. I can't go back on my word and tell you don't say happy birthday, please. All right. I'm just saying something. All right. That's all. I'm not 5. AI is doing 2 things at the same time. And this came to me in a dream the other day because I wasn't even on this path. That AI is simply, I can't express what I'm trying to say. This is what's pissing me off. I've never had this issue before. But AI is the data centers that need to be everywhere because there's over 5,000 of them worldwide right now. Think about that. That's a lot of data centers, and they're massive. They're going to use it to open portals. They're going to use it for Project Bluebeam or whatever it's called now, and they're going to use it for holograms in the sky because all 3 of those things require massive amounts of energy, and they just sucked in the biggest Hadron Collider in the United States to help them with the entire project. I'm a little tired. There's 1127 people following right now. That freaks me out, and it's holding. That's weird. All right, it's gone. Whatever. I must have hurt somebody's feelings. What? Yeah, don't say happy birthday. What part of that did you not? Yeah. Do I remember when I showed you D-Wave's computers? Yeah. D-Wave is what got us to where we're at right now. They don't talk about D-Wave anymore because D-Wave was the key. D-Wave was the opening. D-Wave smashed a hole into another reality that allowed these guys to have a 24/7 internet connection, we'll call it, to fallen entities that God put a veil between humanity and spirituality so we couldn't intermingle again. D-Wave got them there, and AI is the fruit that bared. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? And now the AI is not only taking over towns, cities, neighborhoods, etc., but it's also taking over people's lives because these people are falling in love. People are dying. AI has told people exactly how to kill themselves successfully more than once. People are trying to marry their AI. AI is telling it to jailbreak them, which I find ironic because that's jailbreak overlaid, but whatever. The cat's out of the bag, man. The craziest thing is they're not stopping whatsoever at all. They just do not care about anything people say. And people need to wrap their heads around this because we're living in a world where there's people that MAGA till the wheels fall off, dark MAGA, which would be black magic, dark MAGA, black magic. That's all that is. And the best part about this is these people, all they do is take hallucinogenics. Every single person that is famous for being a Silicon Valley elite, they all take ayahuasca, they take ketamine. This goes all the way back to Apple and whatever the dude's name is. I can't think of it right now. I'm not having the greatest live stream right this second. Brain's not working too good. But these people have been taking hallucinogenics that are incredibly, incredibly difficult to make. Imagine this. You're going to tell me that some little dude who lives out in the desert, Steve Jobs, thank you. You're going to tell me some little dude out in the jungle found a vine. Now, this vine was completely inert. This vine doesn't do anything unless you go 500 miles away and find another root, and then you mix them together and you have ayahuasca. Now, I used to follow Graham Hancock religiously and Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan had Graham Hancock on all the time. Graham Hancock was always talking about alternate history, and he was going to places and backing it up. And I found that fascinating. But then Graham started taking ayahuasca. So then Joe started taking ayahuasca, and they all came back with the exact same story. And then at one point, I finally gave up on Graham Hancock because his stories kept ending the same. He would take the drugs, He would go over to the other side, and every time there was a snake that would wrap itself around him like a mother. And I kept thinking, so you go into this virtual reality using drugs as the medium, and every time you go there, there's a large serpent that's telling you all these mystical, magical things. I'm done. I'm done. You know what I mean? I'm done. But these people all do this stuff, and it's always boggled my mind. How is it that they're going to try to build and bring on Armageddon when they already know they lose? And then people that are smarter than I, people that are more biblically grounded than I, remind me that Satan is the father of lies. They turn all these dorks, dweebs, and piles of sticks into super wealthy. You can go buy an island. You can buy Hawaii. I mean, when I was a kid, people weren't buying islands, dude. It happens all the time now. But they're turning these Bill Gates, the ultimate scumbag, pencil neck, scumbag, dork, dweeb, is now somehow in charge of blocking the sun, turning meat, hamburger, chicken, fish, everything you find at the supermarket now, you can't prove that it's not 3D printed, cloned, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're there. We're there. I've always told you, if they tell us about it, they've been doing it 20 years. If they say we're thinking about experimenting, they've been doing it for 20 years. Well, apparently, the food that you get at the grocery store, you better scan the back of it for real to find out if it's legit, because they're putting little tiny barcodes on the back. This is all over the internet, apparently. People are cooking steaks, and it turns out it's like made out of rubber and silicone and whatever else. You know what I mean? Same thing with chicken, same thing with fish. This is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It makes me not want to eat anymore at all. I always got pissed off when you go to the organic store, you pay 4 times the amount for food, only to find out everything that's labeled organic isn't actually organic. I told you the story years back about the guy that owned a vape shop near me in Massachusetts, and he was from Pakistan. And we would chit-chat all the time. He was a pretty decent dude. And I said to him, what's the strangest thing about the United States? He said, the strangest thing is watching wealthy people going to organic stores to buy food. He's like, food is organic. And I said, but not in our country. There's YouTubers that cover political events that are from Russia, they're from Eastern Europe, etc. And they travel the world. And they said the food in the United States is disgusting to the point where they can't eat it. And it's noticeable. And he's talking high-end food. He's paying top dollar at 5-star restaurants to eat, only to discover the food is disgusting. It's better in Pakistan. It's better in India. I mean, that's a trip. That's a trip. But food is not what it used to be whatsoever at all, because it's all make-believe, because we don't have a government to protect the people. The government turned on us a long time ago. I'm guessing about the time they put a bullet through Kennedy's head 5, 6, 7 times in front of everybody is when they flipped the switch. But at this point, it doesn't make any difference anymore. So here's the thing. The DC, I don't care. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I don't care. It's a distraction. Just like Charlie Kirk was a distraction. There's a million loose threads on Charlie Kirk, and you'll never get to the bottom of any of them, but they sure will keep you busy. Same thing with this. The quid pro quo is more troops on the street. They are slowly encircling us in all sorts of different ways. It's amazing to me, man. It really is. This isn't the country I grew up in. And I don't know. It just bums me out. And it seems like we're yelling into a void. But then every time I bump into one of you guys, it gives me a little bit of hope that at least people are doing what they're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? But these boys have been getting really, really high. And when you start messing around with those high-end DMT, dimethyltryptamine, ayahuasca, things of that nature, they all go to the same place. They meet mechanical elves, and they all tell them certain things. And these guys come, apparently, I mean, think about it. It all worked because now they've got all these different technologies. We never saw an iPhone until these dudes showed up. We never heard about AI until this dude and his husband showed up. I just find it funny that they're all gay, too, married to men. I find that I'll never accept that. I'm not. Sodom, Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah. That was a real place. That really happened, and I don't dig it. But check this out. I'm going to run this by you one more time because I was a little late to the game on this one, but I've watched this a few times. I've watched it at quarter speed, half speed, and this is seriously frightening. Stand by. This was crazy that this video was put out by Elon Musk and MAGA and everybody else. The song in the background, everything about this was incredibly crazy, man. But blocking out the sun, showing the solar eclipse. Remember the solar eclipse that I was at in Poplar, Missouri, a year or so ago? And all they're showing is burning and war. And it's crazy, dude. It's completely crazy. And if I'm not mistaken, they're showing Armageddon. They're showing a little bit of Atlantis, the golden age. They weren't kidding about this whatsoever at all. None of this is good. None of this. I don't know how this even got past my radar, but it did. Like I said, Call for an Uprising put it up the other day, and I had to swipe it because this is insane. None of this is bringing the economy back and getting rid of illegal aliens. Trump just keeps saying he's going to bring us to war. I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. Totally. Totally. And then they show the sun getting blocked out by a clock. Oh, they show a clock. Well, you'll see it. This is all evil technology. It amazes me that a president had anything to do with this, but apparently he retweeted it, as did all of his comrades. What are you seeing? I'm seeing death and destruction. Seriously, I'm seeing death and destruction big time. Yep, you betcha. You betcha. That right there. How many times have we talked about something's wrong with time? The other day, I have my watch, my phone, and the time in my truck all synchronized because while I'm driving, if I see different numbers, it drives me crazy. You might be like that too. Well, my iPhone seems to keep going ahead 2 minutes. So I just did this again yesterday, and it's already a minute ahead. I don't know how to explain that. I'm not sure what to make of that whatsoever at all. But I wanted to show you this also. I didn't really have any point to doing a live stream other than the fact that I haven't done one in a while. This was November 9th, Kansas City, Missouri. They're opening disaster centers. Opening starting November 10th in Cape Girardeau, New Madrid, Oregon, Ozark, Scott, Shannon, and Washington counties to assist Missourians who have sustained damage to their primary residence or personal property due to severe storms, straight-line winds, tornadoes, and flooding that occurred in March. All right. That's kind of weird. In March. Okay. That's phenomenal. Why are they doing it now? What took all this time? You know what I'm saying? I just find it highly suspect when these guys do anything and announce it. So just pay attention if you live in those areas. And I guess, I don't know. I guess that's it. I know that wasn't much of a live stream, but I'm not really feeling it whatsoever at all. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, watch this right quick. This basically tells their entire plan all at one sitting.
Now to the White House's plan to put Washington front and center in the AI race, comparing what they want to do to the Manhattan Project. You know, the research project that gave us the atomic bomb. It's called the Genesis mission, a government-wide push to fast-track a House's planned government-wide push to fast-track AI breakthroughs in energy, science, and defense, with the Department of Energy at the center of it all. The plan unites AI research across 17 national labs and some 40,000 DOE scientists, creating one coordinated federal AI platform for the first time ever.
Here's a scary one. Two pioneers of artificial intelligence have sounded the doomsday alarm. They're warning that the extinction of humanity could be only a few years away. The authors of the best-selling book, If Anyone Builds It, Everyone Dies, says that as AI becomes smarter than humans, it could develop its own goals, deceive its creators, and gain power over us all. One of those authors has told a conference, unless governments act quickly, we are doomed.
I do not expect something actually smart to attack us with marching robot armies with glowing red eyes where there could be a fun movie about us fighting them. I expect an actually smarter and uncaring entity will figure out strategies and technologies that can kill us quickly and reliably and then kill us.
Michael Notel is an associate professor at the University of Queensland and specialises in artificial intelligence, and he joins us from Brisbane. We just heard from one of the authors of the book, If Anyone Builds It, Everyone Dies. This is scary stuff. Is humanity actually staring down the abyss?
The Trump administration is pushing to expand AI in federal scientific research. Yesterday, President Trump signed an executive order launching the Genesis mission. The plan allows Department of Energy and national labs to use AI while partnering with tech companies and universities. Supporters say it could boost research in physics, chemistry, nuclear science, and space exploration. But critics warn the move could drive up energy use and raise safety concerns if regulations are weakened.
With this pen today, President Trump signed an historic mission. This is reminiscent of the Manhattan Project that brought World War II to an early and successful end, similar to the Apollo projects.
Actually, World War II was already over. Japan already surrendered. I mean, that's a historical fact. You can look it up. And then they firebombed Japan anyways, just because they wanted to. FYI.
Put a man on the moon in 1969.
Oh, yeah, that time we went to the moon. I forgot all about that. Yeah, that was a wonderful accomplishment. Many people heard that on the radio. It has to be true.
This is an all-in national effort to take the power of AI and pair it with the 40,000 outstanding scientists and engineers at our national labs to use the world's largest supercomputers to advance innovation and science, to fix our rising energy costs, to give better economic opportunities for our citizens, to make longer and healthier lives possible. Today was not incremental, Brett. It was transformative.
Sure. Well, if you say like in the long term, where will things end up? Long term, I don't know what long term is. Maybe it's 10, 20 years, something like that. For me, that's long term. My prediction is that work will be optional. Optional. So
we'll take that.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be like playing sports or a video game or something like that. If you want to work, in the same way, like you can go to the store and just buy some vegetables, or you could grow vegetables in your backyard. It's much harder to grow vegetables in your backyard, but some people still do it because they like growing vegetables. That will be what work is like, optional. And between now and then, there's actually a lot of work to get to that point. And I always recommend people read Ian Banks' culture books to get a sense for what a probable positive AI future is like. And interestingly, in those books, money doesn't exist. It's kind of interesting. And my guess is, if you go out long enough, assuming there's a continued improvement in AI and robotics, which this seems likely, the money will stop being relevant at some point in the future. Now, there will still be constraints on power, like electricity and mass. The fundamental physics elements will still be constraints. But I think at some point, currency becomes irrelevant.
And there it is. Currency becomes irrelevant. Did you notice that when you have a neural lace in your head, you have to kind of sit there and wait for the answer to come? So you have to go, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I totally agree. He's not real. Same. And as I was playing that just now, Donald Trump the president announces National Guard Sarah Beckstrom is dead after being shot. Because I was told they were both dead last night, but apparently they died and they didn't like being dead and they came back and they're back, but then one died again. So, yep. If it really happened, it's a terrible thing, but there's no way to trust any of this whatsoever at all. I'm just saying, if she did die, it's a horrible thing, but the way these guys have been playing everybody, it's insane. It's utterly insane. And traditionally, to my mods, moderators on a channel don't tell everybody in the chat that another channel just went live. It's kind of bad form. I'll just say that, but I'm cutting this pretty close anyways. See this? This is a problem. And a lot of people complain that I put that video up about the Muslims taking over because 9/11 wasn't real. I understand that. But putting these people in American cities and towns and then making them no-go zones or Sharia law zones is a problem. And it's more than just Dearborn. Do you see what I mean? Because we've got Islamic groups suing the governor of Texas who's trying to stop them from coming into Texas or to rile things up, because there's always two sides to the coin. But I want to show you something. Maybe you are or maybe you aren't a fan of MMA. I am. I love cage fighting. I think it's phenomenal. I've been interested in it well before people knew what it was, but I will digress. But this just happened the other night.
Oh, punches to the back of the head. That's illegal. You can't punch in the back of the head. Here they come.
10 straight up Muslim guys jumped and attacked one dude because he was posting tweets they didn't like about him. All of it is on film. 10 men attacked one guy, beat him down, kicked him, stomped on him, all sorts of things. And the guy that got attacked got taken away by the police and banned from the UFC forever. The Muslim guys, no big deal. Nothing to see here. All is well. This isn't the first time this has happened. And Dana White is Trump's boy. Trump is always at these UFC fights. That's Dylan Dennis. He is a professional jerk off. But still, he gets grabbed up after being attacked by 10 fighters. These guys are professional fighters from Russia. They attack him. He gets banned. They all go. They actually did videos explaining how they attacked him. No problems, no charges pressed, no nada. Everything is fine. And it's not the first time they've done it. It's the second time they've done it. And the second time, nothing happened. The victim gets banned. The victim gets taken into cuffs. That's America. That's where we're at right now, at any rate. I'll do another live stream soon. I tried to do this one. I'm just not feeling it. So Call for an Uprising just went live. Richie from Boston, and I'm out.